Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Let's Vibe Podcast, a podcast hosted by me, Vibe with Aid. In today's Mini Vibes episode, we are talking about the importance of habits and routines. I finished the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I was so inspired by it that I wanted to share some helpful tips if you are looking to create some healthy habits, break some bad habits, and whatnot. I also go through this with my own clients in my coaching business, Find Your Vibe Coaching. So I wanted to do an episode just about that. I am a creature of habit. I love habits. I love routines, you guys. You guys know me. And I just wanted to share in case you guys are struggling. I definitely highly recommend reading that book and getting that book because there's some helpful worksheets and stuff like that you can definitely utilize to your advantage. But I'm just going to share from my experience creating habits, creating routines, and everything like that. If you're new to Let's Vibe Podcast, hi, hello, I'm Aid, music festival content creator, podcast host, life coach. I'm starting to sound like Bretman Rock, you guys, who does Bretman Rock, singer, songwriter, blah, 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 blah. But just to say hello, I'm happy to have you here. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, all that jazz. But without further ado, this is a mini vibes episode, so let's get right into the content. For today's episode, like I said, this was inspired by Atomic Habits. I absolutely loved this book, you guys. It just has helped me so much in terms of breaking certain habits of mine, but also creating new ones that I've been wanting to create. So I'm really excited to share some of this stuff with you guys today. All in all, let's start off with the first big question. Why are routines and habits so important? For me personally, I think having habits and routines that stick is really important because it can help you become the person that you want to be. And it can also support what you are trying to do in life. You know, I think it's really helpful to have some type of structure or to have some type of things in place to set yourself up for success. I feel like once I graduated from college, I really started exploring this realm of how to optimize my day for success, how to get the best results from setting up my day for success, you know? And so I do that in a numerous amount of ways. For my morning routine, my nighttime routine, I block out time on my calendar, and just really good habits that leave me feeling good and wanting to feel good and just overall adding to my life, you know? So I really do want to say that this can be overwhelming if you are newer to forming habits, newer to forming routines. It can be very overwhelming. So I just want to let you know, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to feel it out. It doesn't have to be super strict. You're the one holding yourself accountable. No one else is holding you accountable. So you can really figure out how you want to dedicate time to this. And you don't have to execute these routines every day. Sometimes we need breaks. I used to journal every single day, but sometimes I'm in such a good headspace that I don't need to. Or I don't really feel like meditating today, or whatever it may be. There's some habits that you can't pass up on, maybe some more hygienic habits, but otherwise, sometimes you can pass on that journaling. Sometimes you can pass on that workout if you need to rest and everything like that. And so what I found that was really insightful on how to build sustainable habits and routines was in the book. They talk about different laws from the book. I'm not going to go into all of them, but that is what really opened my eyes on how to make a habit stick, but then also how to break a habit. And so when it comes to making a habit stick, there's a numerous amount of ways to make it stick. You either need to make it attractive, you need to make it accessible, you need to make it as easy as possible for you. And there's many others. And so when you're looking at a habit that you want to form, let's say you want to wake up at 6 a.m. You need to kind of work backwards to figure out how you can have that stick. So if you want to wake up at 6 a.m., that means you need to get 8 hours of sleep. So work backwards. That means you probably need to be in bed by 10 o'clock and asleep by 10 o'clock. And maybe that means you need to start your nighttime routine an hour earlier. If you need to do skincare, you need to read, whatever it is. And so sometimes that means you need to brush up other areas in your life, like your nighttime routine, your morning routine. What are you going to do to make sure you get up out of that bed at 6 a.m.? And I think it's really like people just think like, oh, I'm just going to try waking up at 6 a.m. But there's a lot more science to it. Like I said, having that nighttime routine. For me, if I need to wake up at 6 a.m., I am starting my nighttime routine around 8 o'clock, lights out by 9 o'clock, and I'm hoping I've fallen asleep by 10 o'clock because that's how I am. A lot of people can fall asleep a lot faster, but that's just me personally. I've just tested that out, and that's something I recommend is that you can start keeping some type of activity journal and you can focus on one type of habit that you want to form. I don't expect you to start every habit right away. It's really important to just focus on the one, and then you can do certain techniques like habit stacking to really get those to stick. And another thing that was really helpful and insightful that he brought to light was having a habit be a part of your identity. And I talked about this in the Find Your Why episode, is that when you make something a part of your identity, it is more likely to stick, whether that's forming a habit or breaking a habit. And so, for example, I put the example of like wanting to quit smoking. It's one thing to say that you want to quit smoking. It's another thing that you want to say, I don't want to be a smoker anymore. I don't want to be a smoker. So that makes it more a part of your identity. So like another example for that for me, you guys know I've gone through my fair share of trial and error with my drinking issues. And it's not that I'm an alcoholic. I'm not saying that. It's just I've always had this issue that once I start drinking, I can't stop. And I finally feel like I have broken that habit because of this book, because I really wanted to form it around my identity of I don't want to be the girl that blacks out. I don't want to be the girl that is causing fights with her boyfriend or is getting angry with her boyfriend when we don't fight at all. Like we never get in fights. I don't want to be the girl that can't remember the night before. I don't want to be that girl that's binge drinking and makes poor decisions. So by putting that as a part of my identity, it triggered something in me. And since then, I have done so much better. I've had one slip up probably in, I think it was like around November, I want to say. But since I read this book, I have really, really tried. And when we have been drinking, I've been able to make it a habit to check in with myself and be like, okay, how do we feel after that last drink? Do we want more? And it makes me like really stop for a second and has helped tremendously. And so when you make something a part of your identity, like I want to be a healthy person. What does that look like? Does that mean, you're going to be tracking what you eat, making sure that you're not eating processed foods, fast food, stuff like that? Does that mean that you're going to be working out a lot more? Or whatever it may be. If you make it a part of your identity, I feel like it's more of a commitment and investment to yourself. So that is something that I've learned that you can do to form sustainable, healthy habits. And same thing with breaking them. As you break them, what can you do to make that habit as unattractive as possible? That's one of the laws, is like make it unattractive, make it hard to do that habit. So like I think the example that they put there is like if you want to stop spending money on your credit card, cut up your credit card, break that habit before it can happen. Or if you want to be reminded to do something, you might need to place something in sight. I had to do this with something else where like I had to have something out and then I would see it and then I would do it. Or just like remember a certain action that then forms another action. So another thing that I've been working on, I'm getting real personal with you guys today. I've had issues with my gums for quite some time because I just didn't know how to floss. I didn't floss for a long time in college. And so since I've graduated from college, I've been trying to like reverse that on top of having really bad genes for gums. I floss once a day, but I was trying to like get better and be like, okay, how can I get myself to floss twice a day? Because I wake up, I take out my Invisalign retainer, I brush my teeth, and then I go about my day in the morning. I don't floss when I wake up because I felt like I haven't eaten anything. So I was like, I don't think I need to floss. So I've been trying to form a habit of like, okay, I finish eating my breakfast. I'm going to go wash my plate from what I ate for breakfast. And then I need to go to the bathroom to brush and floss my teeth again. So that is something I've been doing. And so I've been trying to retrain my brain of like, okay, we clean the dishes. I can't do anything else until I go brush or floss my teeth. And sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I don't. Today I didn't miss it. So we're going to do better the next day. And that brings me to my point of like, this is really just going to be trial and error. Focus on that one habit, get really good at it, make it stick. And then you can try your next habit that you want to do. And maybe if it's like multiple things, that becomes a routine of some sort. And so I even block out in my calendar, you guys, when certain routines need to happen. So like my morning routine, breakfast routine, lunch routine, dinner routine. This is something you guys can work to. It's taken some time, like I said, to form those habits, to get really good at one thing and then add on another habit. So I would say like at first it was like waking up early and going to the gym. That really, I was on that habit for a while. There was also another habit of like Sunday nights, meal prepping, doing that habit for a little bit. And then it wasn't until I would say 2020 was when I focused on like my morning and nighttime routines. That was when I was like, okay, let's try out meditating. Okay, now let's add journaling. Okay, let's add reading. And I've just added more and more because it's felt good. And once you start getting in the habit, of doing that habit, it feels really good and that almost reinforces it. Same thing when you are trying to break a habit. If you can find a way to like reward yourself, that is another way of getting that habit to stick. You can do that with forming a habit as well, but breaking a habit, say like you go 10 days without eating fast food and you want to reward yourself with a massage or something else. I wouldn't say reward yourself with food because that could be counterintuitive and counterproductive and could lead to like binge eating, stuff like that. But if you want to reward yourself with a cute workout set or a massage, another way that you can like show reward for your body could be really great with that. Give yourself some space to try out some things, have fun with it, experiment with it, don't give up. It's totally okay to just like have this be your time to really sort out what you like to do and what you can do to form a really good day for yourself. And this ties in with your why. Like, what habits do you need to form to have that life that you've always dreamed of? Do you need to set some time after work to work on your side hustle or build up your business? What are those things you need to be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? And so even like at the end of the week, maybe you form a habit to check in with yourself, check in on your finances, check in on whatever it may be, just to make sure that you're staying on track with your goals. And then on a monthly level, check in with your goals, and even yearly level, check in with your goals and set new goals and figure out what you need to be doing to support those goals. Because I say you can have a goal of, say, you want to save a certain amount of money. You're not going to wait to save that money towards the end of the year. You're going to want to see how you can save on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And that's going to get you a lot closer to your goal than just waiting till December 30th, 2021 and being like, oh, I said I was going to save this amount of money and you don't have that money to save. So that's just one example. But really just have fun with it. Go easy on yourself. Try out one thing and then add on the next and so on and so forth. And then the next thing is what to do when you get off track. So like I said, sometimes I execute my habits, sometimes I don't. One good rule of thumb that James Clear provided in that book was you don't fail twice. So if you miss a workout one day, then the next day, do that workout and get back on it. If you don't wake up at 6 a.m. like you plan to, then make sure that you do it the next day. So it's just really important to make sure that you don't fail twice. And sometimes you might do consistent days on end. If it comes to that point where you're just like feeling very low energy, feeling very like not on it, then figure out a way to just give yourself a reset and get back on it. It's just really important to make sure that you just get back on track, even if it's with failing a habit. So like, say for myself, if I had this habit of not wanting to binge drink, not wanting to black out, and I go out to brunch with the girls, I get a little crazy Sunday fun day, and I wake up the next day and I blacked out, I need to make sure I do whatever I can to come back from that and make sure it doesn't happen again. So that's another way to look at it from a different perspective if you're trying to quit a bad habit. That brings me to where I am now. I talked a little bit about where my current routine is, my current habits I'm working on and everything like that. Like I said, I've worked up to this. I've added on, bits and pieces here and there, tried out different things. And I'm still fluctuating things. Like I'm trying out content batching right now. I'm trying out something else. Oh, I'm trying to figure out like certain days that I can do certain routines for my business and stuff like that. So my current routine right now is that I am waking up around like 7 o'clock. Now that I'm self-employed, I have a little bit more flexibility, but I wake up at 7, I have some breakfast, I do my little breakfast routine, which consists of eating the breakfast and making the breakfast and cleaning the dishes, and then also going to the bathroom and brushing and flossing my teeth. Then after that, I'll do a little morning routine of journaling. I haven't been meditating lately. I've been trying to get back into it. So I've fallen off a little bit there, but I do some journaling. I'll do some reading. And then I'll just set some intentions for the day. I will start to work on stuff, and then I'll get to about lunchtime. I'll either make lunch or heat up lunch. And then this is when I usually have my vitamins, because it typically is a lot better for me to have those vitamins with a meal. And so I typically do that with lunch. And then I work. I've been a little lax about when I get off work. Like I'll work a little bit and then I will go to the gym around 1:30, which has been really nice. And that's been serving me really well. And then I'll come back, I'll shower up, I'll have a little snack, and then I'll get back to work. And that's really been working well for me. And then we get to about dinner time, we do dinner, we relax, and then it is nighttime routine. And so my nighttime routine, I usually put my phone across the room and I plug it in around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then I brush my teeth, I do my skincare routine, all of that. And then I will go to bed and I will be reading a book. It's usually a fictional book because those things put me to sleep right away. And I'll read a book and then I will be lights out within the hour. So it'll either be at 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on how tired I am or what time I want to wake up. Oh, I forgot to say, when I'm done with work, the last thing I do is I make a plan or I make a to-do list for the next day. So I look at my calendar, I look at what are those action items I need to do? What do I need to do that will feel good? What do I need to do to keep the needle moving forward? And so I set a to-do list for the day. So by the end of that day, I know what's coming ahead for the next day and I can just relax. That way it's not like a day of thing that I'm trying to figure out, oh, what do I need to do today? It's already decided the night before, so I don't have to think about it as much, and I just have a clear plan of that day. So that is typically what a day looks like for me. Like I said, you can figure out what looks best for you, and you can kind of switch around routines, you can switch around habits and everything like that. The book goes into a lot more detail, so that this was kind of like your guys' crash course in habits and routines. So I hope it was helpful. Like I said, just go easy on yourself. Start out with one thing. If it's like you want to wake up earlier or you want to start working out. And it can always be something you work up to. Like anyone that I talk to that wants to start working out consistently, start with going 2 days a week. Just see how that feels. Get that integrated in your schedule. And then go to 3 days. And then go to 4 days. And then go to 5 days. Just slowly work up to it, and then it'll be more likely to stick because you'll start to get the endorphins and that will start to feel really good. And then you're like, all right, I need to be doing this for my mental health. And like, that's how I feel. Like I work out solely for my mental health at this point because it just like makes me feel really good. And it helps so much. And that is just something you can do, is you can figure out how to kind of make your habit in bite-sized pieces. And same thing with waking up early. They say it's best practice to like wake up 15 minutes before you normally wake up. And then just slowly start waking up earlier and earlier. But that also means you need to be going to bed earlier and earlier too, to support that, and have a good nighttime routine to support that. So yeah, that's honestly what I'll leave you with. I also do have this sticky note here that I thought was interesting. I totally forgot that this is here. If you're watching on YouTube, what I have here is that beliefs turn into thoughts. Thoughts turn into words. Words turn into actions. Actions turn into habits. Habits turn into values, and values turns into your destiny. This is interesting because if you rework some of those stuff prior, it can help you form those habits, and then it leads you to your destiny. Like, what? So like, let's break that down, what that looks like. You have your beliefs and your thoughts, which turns into words and actions. And so say like you've always believed that you're not a morning person, or that you're not the type to work out or eat healthy or whatever it may be. Those are just ones that come so easy to me, but we can even think about like you're not one to become rich. Like you just have some issues with like your beliefs in money, and that like you think that money doesn't buy happiness and all these things. I just read You're a Badass at Making Money. So this is where that's coming from. If you guys want to know more about that book, let me know. But you might need to fix your belief with money and say, no, like there's endless amounts of money that's meant for me, and change that thought. And then that becomes your thoughts and your words of like, no, I can make more money in this world. There's more money to be made out there. Like, money is a form of energy and it flows to me easily, and all these things. And then those words then turn into action. What does that look like? It's like, okay, I'm going to be saving more money. I'm going to get a side hustle. I'm going to go after my own business, whatever it is. And then you take those actions then form into habits. Like you saving money weekly, daily, whatever it is. You forming your business becomes a habit because you're going to constantly fuel into it. And then those turns into your values. What do you value? As someone that is, waking up early, you value having that time for yourself to get your day started on the right foot. You know what I mean? And then that becomes your destiny. Oh, man. I don't know where I got this from, but it just makes sense because those values become your destiny and what you have always meant to be. Honestly, like your why, your purpose, everything like that, and what you value. So I think that was a great note to end on. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you guys ever have any questions about habits or routines, or you want to dig into how to create some habits and routines that support your why or supports your dream life, feel free to DM me at Find Your Vibe Coaching on Instagram, or shoot me an email. But I hope you guys did love this episode. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, share with a friend who's been struggling with their habits or routines that you would like to help. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me on this podcast. I love you guys so, so much. And I will see you in the next one. Stay vibey, Vibe Tribe. Bye.